Oh, see. Oh shit, that's funny. Um,
Joining me now, directing.
so Trump wants to shut down the Forest Service HQ.
Says it will relocate the U.S. Forest Service. The Trump administration says it will relocate the U.S. Forest Service headquarters from Washington, D.C. to Salt Lake City, Utah, and shut down research facilities in 31 states. The change is expected to be completed by the summer of 2027. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says the relocation will bring leaders closer to the landscapes they manage and people who depend on them. The Deputy Agriculture Secretary says Salt Lake City was chosen for its reasonable cost of living, proximity to an international airport, and Utah's family-focused way of life. But not everyone is on board with the
Family-focused way
change.
of
Gabrielle Cannon
life.
joins us now. She's a senior climate reporter for The Guardian. So why do U.S. officials favor this move and see it as necessary?
Yeah, I mean, they're really framing this as an efficiency move and one that they said has been a long time coming. So there has been challenges in recent years with the Forest Service sprawling mission, certainly staying on
Oh,
budget.
I'm not even showing. Hold on.
And at this point in time, the administration is saying that this is going to help maximize
L streamer.
their ability to
Yeah,
expand
no, so the Trump admin wants to shut down the Forest Service and move the headquarters from Washington to Utah,
the mission, which they see as timber
basically defunding the entire program.
production. Of course, that's been a key priority for President Trump. But of course, if you zoom in on some of the details of this plan, you can see some of the other.
You know, the Forest Service headquarters known for fighting wildfires and preventing geographical disasters, especially in states like the Pacific Northwest. And the people who manage every single national park in the US. Literally, they do every single national park in the US.
The other ways that this might actually put more power under the president. And so, for example, we're going from this 10 region hierarchy to one that is then 15 different state offices. Those new state directors will be political appointees rather than
Political appointees. What's up, Doritos? What's up, Chloe?
career civil servants.
What are environmental groups saying? Some of them are pushing back, right?
Yeah, I mean, the pushback has been expansive. So when this was first proposed last year,
We literally don't give a fuck about this planet at all. We're well past the point of no return.
we first had a public comment period. It had 14,000 comments filed. The vast majority is like over 80% were negative. People are concerned that this will actually have the opposite effect, not more efficiency, but actually less. So some of the things we've seen in the past when these big shakeups have happened under the first Trump administration, for example, when he tried to move the BLM headquarters to Colorado, 90% of those staff positions were lost. It created huge vacancies, huge issues in accomplishing the day-to-day work. And we're coming at a time when the Forest Service has already seen big disruptions in the work that they do because of those budget cuts and staffing cuts from mid last year. And so there are worries that this is not only going to hamper that work.
Remember the California wildfire? The Palisades fire is gonna be like 10 times worse, and it's gonna happen much more often.
It's also going to stop like critical fire safety work, research, and the general mission that goes beyond timber production, which is of course conservation and climate science.
And then just thinking about the people at the center of this. I mean, you're asking people to uproot their lives and move essentially across the country, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what we've seen in the past, that some folks just really aren't able to do that. And so there are people who are critics of this plan who think that this is sort of a broader way to easily eradicate the folks that have been in doing this work for years and years.
Yes, it is. It is just a way for the Trump admin to basically cut every civil servant out that has been in there before the administration and screw over the environment. Like, this is like one of the pillars in environmental protectionism. And now it's just gone. Just poof, gone. Bye-bye.
Years to replace them, once those new systems are set up. But what we know from past experiences is that we will see disruptions, and whether or not this turns into something that is efficient in the long run remains to be seen. I think that's been one of the major issues, right? Is that there are clear problems that need to be solved. I think a lot of critics of this plan were hoping for a more surgical approach and certainly a more robust analysis on the types of cost savings or the ways in which this might streamline the work. And rather than a surgical approach, the administration has kind of chosen to come in with a sledgehammer. And so there are worries that this is going to leave the Forest Service even more hampered than it already is.
Gabrielle Cannon, keep us posted, please.
Completely fucking ridiculous. Like, The U.S. Forest Service. There it is. Yeah, the fact that they'd be shutting down the U.S. Forest Service. Here's their actual website. Part of the USAID reorganization plan, Forest Service is realigning its organizational structure to strengthen local leadership. More than 73,000 wildfires burn about 7 million acres of private, state, and federal land in the U.S. each year. Yeah, these guys are the front line in protecting the environment, and we just cut them completely. If you ever do a map for any sort of national park, you get it through these guys. About the agency. Jesus, man. The Pacific Northwest is like God's country. And I know this is more like Rockies area, but established in 1905, Forest Service, an agency of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, is the nation's foremost federal forestry organization. The agency is a world leader in forest research, providing leadership in sustainable management, conservation, use, and stewardship of natural and cultural resources on national forests and grasslands in the United States. Man. No wonder the fucking Pope doesn't want to come here. Like, absolutely fucking despicable. Because I guess we'll tie these 2 points together because, like, holy shit. The Trump admin is just evil. Oh, Pentagon meeting with Vatican official. Okay, well, maybe I'll talk about this in a second. But holy shit. The amount of evil that comes out of the administration is proof of why we will never be a country of growth again. Well, like, this is actual devastation that the Trump admin hasn't been able to do yet. Because even if we undo this, that's tons of people losing their jobs. We have to reorganize the entire agency again. I don't know. I think the environment's cooked. I genuinely have no idea what we can do past this point to save the environment or provide any sort of alleviation for the environment at all. I have zero fucking clue in my head. I don't think the world is cooked. We're definitely not doing great and stuff, but people have overcome a lot over the last 100 years. Yeah, I know, but dude, the environment. Like, this is civilizationally ending shit. What state is the environment damage of climate change? Australia healed their ozone. We thought we were dead then. Yeah, but Australia isn't shutting down the National Forest Service. $2.8 trillion in damage over the last 20 years. In the U.S., like last month, the U.S. was already paying more than any other country for climate change-related damages. Oh, that's a banger of an image for a thumbnail. The U.S. had suffered the most substantial losses of any country, valued at $16.2 trillion due to climate collapse. The U.S. experienced more financial damage caused since 1990, even though the emissions were the biggest source of the damage. That's because the U.S. economy is relatively larger than share in global emissions, so it caused a lot of harm, but also substantially harmed. Oh, has caused a lot of harm, but has also been substantially harmed. This is the doomsday news since 2000. I'm 40. I'm old. Things are going to suck, but I don't think environment is done so yet. We almost killed ourselves by killing all the sperm whales. Their deep sea dives feed the plankton who help create the majority of the oxygen. Yeah, I know, but the world is forever changed. I don't think we're going to see a point in our lives, at least not in my life, where the U.S. comes back from this. Or the world comes back from something like this. Correct. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be bad. The next 40 years are going to be really rough. Unless we stop everything now and because it's mostly big corporations that cause all the emissions. Unless we stop everything now, nothing's going to change. I don't perceive anything changing if Democrats take power unless substantial change happens with Democrats. I normally have like a lighter tone to end these segments on, but this one is kind of a rough one. This is just a rough one to end on.